No one's stopping anybody from keeping government's feet to the fire. And nobody is saying, like the Attorney and Accountant General the Controller and Accountant General of the country said, nobody is saying that there's an oasis here. And in fact, President Weah didn't inherit an oasis. When the rice crisis was on in the country, people say, oh, rice crisis on. The opposition was blaming the government. Did the opposition leave red fund here? That the government spoiled and broke it down? They left rest fund? No government left rest fund here. To say if the rest fund was running and they were producing rice, and the time government clean out, government take the money and didn't do the rest fund, so the rest fund broke down, so no rice in the country. Nobody left rest fund here. In fact, they were giving money, 30 million by Liberia to do rest fund in Lofa. What happened to that rest fund? Criminal cells said, they're not there. They're not there. So when we're criticizing, we got to be fair to the public. We got to come with, they say who talks about equity must come with clean hands. Who are these people talking about suffering? I don't want to join. Sometimes we don't want to embellish this whole thing. But are they sincere? Are they sincere? We're walking from Brashu to Douala because of some of these very people. They were driving cars with guns in their hands. Came to town with AK-47s. Came to town with AK-47s. Under escort of ECOMOG. Because we wanted peace. And you can't tell us that we're suffering. You're suffering today. Hey man, you don't do that to the people in the country. This country has seen a lot of suffering already. We're trying to rebuild. We can differ politically, and let's differ politically. Let's talk about the political issues. Let's talk about the policy issues. What policies will you pursue that we're not pursuing? Will you not build roads as we're building roads? Will you not improve on the hospitals as we're improving on the hospitals? Will you not put in more money to education as we're doing? In fact, let me piggyback on the education. Just 7 years ago, 25,000 young people took entrance for the University of Liberia, all failed. Our students were a laughing stock in the sub-region because of the results coming from WIAC. What is the story today? Most of the students taking university entrance, they are passing. Most of the students taking the WAS, they are passing. And they are passing with high grades. Have we forgot where we have just come from? What are we talking about? Talking about suffering? When President Weah took over, power, LEC power per kilowatt hour, the liter that was available was about 55 cents per kilowatt hour. That means all the small, medium enterprises, the businesses you see on the sidewalk that use their small tiger generators and things, all of them, they were spending at least 40%, 50% of their profit just to keep operational. Yes. In fact, my colleague, Assistant Minister Joasano, wrote yesterday in one of our chat rooms. He said, I've been driving around Monrovia for the last 1 week, and I've noticed no generator on. No generator on. It means that the barber shops, the small businesses that run every day charging goods and all the things, they're running now on LEC because they can afford it. LEC now is 15 cents per kilowatt hour. It means if you buy $10 current, it can last you for about a week or even more than a week, depending on how you use it. $10 current 2 years ago, now 2 day or 1 day current. What are we talking about? You talk about suffering? Let's talk about the real issues, my people. Let's talk about the real issues. Let's debate the real issues. Don't lie to our people. Nobody's suffering here. The people suffering, we know the people who are suffering. And that is why we're doing everything we can to alleviate the problems. These problems are not problems of 2018. These are generational problems as a result of a bad parochial ecosystem of our governance, infrastructure, and architecture. You cannot blame it on a single administration that just came 5 years ago. When we remember Liberia started 1847. What happened to the Ganta Harper Highway? Nobody ain't paved it, nobody anything. From Stephen Ali Benson to Jim S.P., Daniel D. Coleman, then what they did too. Alfred F. Russell, then what a contribution to. Why they didn't pave that road? We're laughing, but it's a fact. Let's put our country's debate into proper perspective. Let's talk about the country in a proper perspective. We shouldn't be lying to the ordinary people of our country. It is the ecosystem, the parochial foundation of our country, built on false premise that has caused us to stagnate in development. And then some of us who have served have come to worsen the situation and even milk an already bad foundation. So we can have the debate void of all of the sentimentalism and the oratory, how do beginning they call it? The oratory razzmatazz. Yes, let me join them to the oratory razzmatazz, because that's what I call it, oratory razzmatazz, trying to appeal to people's emotion, but based on false narratives. That's all we can say. But the Liberian people knows the truth. The ordinary people, they just want to go about their normal days, find their basic needs, go into the community, see what's going on there. New construction, small homes. People are taking loans from the banks, building their little homes, improving upon their lot. Only those who think that the surest way of attaining wealth is through the acquisition of a government job will continue to cry and cry and cry. If you are a professional, find a way. I always say, for me, I'm a fisherman. If you tell the canoe, the sea stay, they are fishing. I gotta be on ship, I gotta be on canoe. I can use hook and line and stay fishing. So everybody gotta find out. There's always an entrance and an exit to government. When you leave, you leave. You move on, you try a new life. But not to continue to agitate. I don't care how they agitate, we will not respond. Because we know the game plan is to try to create an unpleasant season for our people, to try to create fear and a state of uncertainty in the population. We will not do. When they go low, we'll go high. We'll not do that. Because we don't even believe that the people are buying the stories. You were just selling ratchet beat yesterday that you can't see the mystery. Things foolish people here. Nobody's stupid here.